Hello everyone, welcome to Conjunctions in Astrology. We're looking at Mars in conjunction with Jupiter in your chart. Let me show what this means for your destiny and also looking at the sign and house positions. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below. If the video is good for you, give it a thumbs up. Let's begin. First of all, everybody, what is a conjunction in astrology? You may think you have a conjunction of Mars and Jupiter in your chart, but you may not have. A conjunction in the ancient Vedic system is about planets being in the same sign together, because a sign equals a house. So, if two or more planets are in the same sign, no matter how far apart they are by degree, they are in conjunction. But if one planet is 29 degrees of one sign, let's say, and the other planet at 0 of the next sign, that's not a conjunction, even though they are only 1 degree apart in space, because they are in different signs, therefore different houses, with a completely different lord. Another point to consider is the nakshatra. If planets are in a different nakshatra but in the same sign, are they still forming conjunction? Most definitely they are, because the nakshatra just gives them an internal experience, but they're still in the same sign, they're still sharing the experience of that house, and they are still in a conjunction. So if you have Mars and Jupiter together in the same sidereal sign, you have a conjunction of the two grahas. It's known as Guru Mangal Yoga, extremely powerful conjunction. But let's look at the energies involved. So who is Mars? Mars is known as Mangal in the Vedic system. He is the fighter for justice in the universe because he is associated with Kartikeya, the general of the army of the gods. His purpose is to protect the family and to protect the weak. He is the son of Bhumi, Mother Earth, and has complete control over the earth plane. So Mars gives us the stamina, the energy, willpower, courage, and all the fighting ability we need to carry on with our life. All action in our life is coming from Mars. He is the karaka for the property, the home, brother, sporting activities, all competition, mathematics, and indeed for Jyotish astrology. But when out of control, Mars energy can become violent, really desperate, determined, and completely unethical, because he will not brook any interference with his willpower. Therefore, Mars energy must be controlled in our chart for best effect. And who is Jupiter? Jupiter is known as Guru in the Vedic system because he is essentially a teacher, the teacher to the devas, demigods. He gives the higher spiritual knowledge, which takes us out of Maya and illusion and ultimately leads us to liberation. He rules two signs in the zodiac, Sagittarius and Pisces. From Sagittarius, he gives us religious system, dharmic action, philosophy, and indeed the laws of society and justice itself. From the sign of Pisces, his true home, he gives us a deep intuitive spiritual knowledge which links us with the Supreme. Jupiter is the Karaka representative for education, wealth, and children in our chart, and he also represents a husband in a female chart. So when the fighting ability, determination, and energy of Mars comes together with the wisdom of the Guru, we have Guru Mangal Yoga. This is a very powerful yoga or conjunction to have in your chart. Now, Mars and Jupiter are great friends, and they definitely complement each other because the warrior general of the army wants to serve Guru, and this is generally extremely favorable for forward motion in your life. But I have to tell you that Guru Mangal Yoga can have extreme effects sometimes. Conjunction very often brings inspired action, which definitely leads to success in many areas of life. But the problem is when the nodes get involved, Rahu and Ketu I've seen, either in conjunction with the conjunction or aspecting, then things can become more chaotic and impulsive. You see, on the positive side, Mars and Jupiter together is a very good sign for a leader, for anybody who inspires others. When the energy of Mars is taken under the control of Jupiter Guru, then energy and action becomes righteous, becomes good, becomes very well timed. You know when to do things, you know when to stop. You put energy where it's needed and you pace yourself. Tremendous discipline, concentration, and force comes into anybody's life when Mars Jupiter works for the good. So Rahu Ketu disrupt that with impulsive, and particularly Rahu, selfish energy. There are so many positives, as I say. You will be an inspirational leader, definitely, and you don't step away from a fight. Mars and Jupiter together, you fight that righteous war. You help the underprivileged, you help those who need help, but you help yourself as well. When you get stuck in life, you don't just sit down and give up. You get up and you get moving. As they say, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. It's definitely true of Mars, Jupiter. This is why a possible career option can often be life coach or motivational speaker. You're someone who learns through direct action. You make mistakes, but you learn from the mistakes. That's the thing. Jupiter makes you learn from your action. So you don't give up easily. You always try again, try a different way, do something better next time. That's why it's such a forward motion factor. You don't let your life stagnate. But what you need more than anything when you've got Mars, Jupiter is a teacher. You yourself need a source of inspiration. Now, this could take many forms. It could be a system of philosophy, religion, an actual guru, priest, guide in that way. Or it could be parent, teacher, inspirational speaker, somebody who you get guidance from. But the thing is, if you have affliction to this Mars Jupiter, it goes in the opposite direction. In these cases, you can become oppositional, angry, agitated by anybody who tries to guide you, help you. So guru, teacher, mentor, you become oppositional to them, and this creates all sorts of difficulties. So when well placed by sign and house, Mars Jupiter gives a very positive vibe. You give a positive vibe to other people, and this attracts people to you. It definitely makes you stand out from the crowd. Perhaps the biggest factor, though, about the energetic Mars with Jupiter is that you get physical energy. You get the ability for sporting activities, athletics sometimes, or you just get that good energy pumping through your veins because Mars is the blood. So this is very good for your health if it is not afflicted and it is placed in a good sign in a positive house. Mars Jupiter can help in any career where you have to be a leader, being forthright, being at the front, or just having a great deal of activity like sports person, etc. Business people definitely benefit with this Mars Jupiter. And of course, it's about surgery, medical intervention. So Mars Jupiter is great for medicine. Because Jupiter rules education, the conjunction with Mars means you give a lot of energy to your education. Well placed by sign, house, this will be very positive. But if it is not well placed and it is afflicted, education can become even slightly chaotic. You see, a very afflicted, ill-placed Mars Jupiter, as I say, can go in the opposite direction. You are still positive, you are still motivated, but the energy is not focused anymore. Energy is all over the place. You're really enthusiastic, then you get tired and bored and you move on to something else. So that steady forward motion isn't normally there when there is affliction, but there is certainly lots going on in your life, that's for sure. Here's the thing you mightn't have heard about Mars conjunct Jupiter as well, everyone. You know, Jupiter, Guru, has the strongest temper, the strongest anger in the whole of the grahas. You know, Jupiter's anger is very extreme. When he punishes, it's the topmost. Yes, he is merciful and kind, but when he sees that righteousness has not been followed, his anger knows no bounds. Even Mars' anger is nothing to Jupiter. So that's why under affliction, ill-placed and ill-aspected, this Mars Jupiter can become temperamental. I've actually seen this very off the cuff, very much hot-headed, very much impulsive and hard to repress. So if you have this, you must try to contain the energy, bringing out positive factors as much as you can. That is why positive guide, positive mentor is such a help to you. Once again, whatever the placement condition, Mars Jupiter gives you the ability to start again, whatever situation you are in. It pulls you up from that downward spiral. That's why it's great for business people, entrepreneurs, because we all know how businesses go up and down, marketplace forces. Mars and Jupiter helps you to ride the wave to success. Health-wise, as I've just said, Mars Jupiter is excellent. It can give you great vitality, even purify the blood. But afflicted, you get the opposite. You get fevers, accidents, difficulty, and a great stress level which needs to be contained. Mars is Karaka for your brothers. They become very important to you, source of inspiration, or under affliction, they can actually be a drain on your own resources and your time. Jupiter represents wealth, and education, as I've said, can be good. Wealth grows. Wealth really grows with this Mars-Jupiter, but it grows through your own independent action. And finally, Jupiter is Karaka for the husband in a female chart. So husband may be actually represented by Mars. He may be philosophical, he may be doctor, surgeon, all of these things, policeman, very, very active and forthright individual who can be very protective of you. But if there is affliction, he can be temperamental, hard to understand. Let's look at the signs, everybody, starting with the fire signs. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. What a fantastic placement for Mars, Jupiter. So much energy, so much enthusiasm, because Mars is happy here and Jupiter is happy in all of these signs. Of course, Mars owns sign Aries, Jupiter owns sign Sagittarius. But either way, whatever fire sign, this is a powerful combination. Well placed by house, Mars, Jupiter in a fire sign can make you accomplish anything. When you put your mind to something, you will accomplish it. You have vision, you have planning ability, and generally speaking, you have enormous enthusiasm which you maintain. Of course, in affliction and in difficult houses like 6, 8, 12, it takes a while, but you still get there. You still have this tremendous energy. Thing is about Mars, Jupiter in a fire sign, you work best under your own steam. So independently, self-employment, definitely, writer, creative person, entrepreneur, anything really. When you put your mind to it, you accomplish it. Mars, Jupiter in the air signs, in Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. This is going to get you quite agitated, quite stress levels going up here, because it's not an easy combination. Mars and Jupiter don't like these signs so much. So social life, other people seem to get in your way. You're always gadding about doing something new, getting involved in organizations, business deals, everything. You love to be with other people, but have you got enough time for your own projects? There is huge mental energy, fantastic ideas, inspiration come to you almost constantly. A new project is always just about to start, right? But do you carry them through? Have you got the enthusiasm to go to the end? Something is always distracting you, or somebody is always distracting you. So you need focus, you need meditation, calm to make the most of this combination when it's in earth sign. Mars, Jupiter in the earth signs, that means in Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn. This can help you to get to the top in any career through pure energetic focus. You've got lots of focus, but don't forget there is a problem here, particularly in Capricorn, which I will get to. The problem is that even though there's lots of persistence and good energy levels here, you really focus, as I say, get jobs done. Jupiter doesn't get the same inspiration here. You can cut off. You just want to be independent, do your own work. You don't want to have to be aspiring to what other people would like you to do. So sometimes you don't take advice well, particularly in Capricorn. If, however, Jupiter is retrograde with Mars, direct Mars in Capricorn, that is slightly better, because therefore Jupiter will act like he's in exaltation, and this will actually work well. So in all of these earth signs, persistence, enthusiasm is slow but sure, and it's actually very good for material gain. Now, when Jupiter and Mars go into the water signs, that's Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces, it's very helpful indeed. See, Jupiter is happy in all these signs. Jupiter, even in Scorpio, you might think is more challenging, but actually gives deep spiritual wisdom. And of course, Mars, although debilitated in Cancer in this age of Kali, Mars in Cancer is actually quite auspicious and helpful. Check the video on my channel, Mars Karmas in all signs. In all of these signs, you are inspired when you are doing something for the greater good. And Jupiter gives you great intuition, ability to see behind the veil, actually. Your timing can be superb in life because you understand very well other people's motives. It gives you empathy for all people, makes you a very good parent, very active parent as well. So Jupiter Mars in these water signs is a very highly auspicious factor when it is directed towards helping the greater good. Occult study, spiritual wisdom, particularly Jyotish and mathematics maybe as well. All of these subjects inspire you from your heart. So you have enormous inspiration to give to the world. You can do something really special in this incarnation, and you should set your heart on that. In the 1st, 4th, and 7th, 10th house, the Kendra houses, Mars, Jupiter pushes your life forward continually. You never stand still. You're always moving on to the next project. You're always inspired to do something different, something new. You definitely have a very active life when you have Mars and Jupiter in the Kendra houses. Mars and Jupiter, 1st house, excellent for your health, excellent for your vitality. Accidents may be there, but you overcome all of these issues. Your personality is big. Mars and Jupiter gives you a big and extrovert, normally personality, depending on the sign, of course. Just like 10th house, Mars, Jupiter, you can get multiple streams of income. And there's always new projects, something new cooking inside you every moment. Tremendous dynamism in your life when you have Mars, Jupiter in the 1st house. Guru Mangal Yoga, Mars and Jupiter in the 10th house is excellent for your career, for your ability to get to the top in any situation. The only problem is that Jupiter sometimes doesn't do so well, 10th house, if you have to compromise on your ideals, because it's a very idealistic position. It's great for a teacher, an inspirational coach. You can be all of these things, helping other people, working in army, armed forces, government, all of these things, superb. But Mars, Jupiter often lends more than one source of income. You are constantly changing careers sometimes, constantly restless, seeking for brighter shores, as it were. When Mars and Jupiter are in the 4th house, it's great for dealing with property, because Mars is Karaka for property. You can get wealth, success, buying property, selling property, constructing property, all of these things depending on the condition of the 4th house lord. You will want to have an expansive house as well. Trouble is, affliction to this Mars, Jupiter, there can be difficulty settling. You are always finding some new prospect, new house, new flat, new apartment, whatever it is. You always want to move. You feel restless in your home situation. If it's not moving, it's improving. You are very ambitious in regard to your home and living situation. Sometimes Mars, Jupiter, because Jupiter is foreign shores, takes you into foreign shores. But there's a very strong attachment to your home culture, to your early home environment. Relationship with the mother is tremendously important. She may be a huge source of inspiration for you, even though she can be a little bit combative or maybe argumentative because of Mars' presence here. Of all the Kendra, the 7th is the most difficult placement, because Mars is Madhukasthana and Jupiter is not happy here either. It's a business house. Jupiter is not a business person. So quarrels with the spouse, difficulty getting religious understanding between you can be there when there are other malefics afflicting, or there is a very poor sign placement that can be seen. But there are also beneficial factors. It can be good for business, wealth from business, independent business, entrepreneur, even sometimes business partnerships, if you have a really active business partner with whom you are in harmony. Mars, Jupiter, 2nd house, you deal with money in a very competent way. You can be inspired in ways to grow finances. You can get inheritance, family property, and family business works very well also. Now, because Mars is Karaka for property, buildings, you can make money from property dealings, definitely, because Jupiter is wealth here. So fixed assets like property can be excellent for good growth in your life, but there has to be good placement of the 2nd house lord as well. Generally, family of upbringing supports you, gives you a real push in life, gives you energy, and you generally have high morals, high values. But where there is affliction, morals can be lax. Mars can make you say anything, do anything to get gain. Don't forget, Mars, Jupiter are in the house of speech. Stay ethical at all times. Now, in the 3rd house, Jupiter is not in a happy state. He's in a Madhukasthana. He's been weakened. So this affects Mars's attitude here. Although Mars is is really strong. So you become a fighter in life with Mars, Jupiter, third house. You fight for everything which you believe in, but not always ethically. Be careful that you stay ethical. Jupiter here makes you fight with father, sometimes siblings, sometimes, and you fight for your beliefs, political beliefs, religious beliefs, anything. You just like to fight. You never step down from a quarrel, mostly with this Mars, Jupiter, third house. However, it can be a very skilled position, giving you hand-on skills in crafts, in music, art, writing, media, communication. Media is a big career winner for you here. We had that larger-than-life personality. But because of Jupiter's debilitation, it's very important that you get some higher ideal to drive you forward in life. You can become a questioning of guru, questioning of father, a questioning of early religious upbringings. Check them again. Maybe there's something which you've missed. Jupiter Mars 6th house, which just like third house, brings the argumentative tendency there. But this time there can be legal problems. There can be relationship issues if Jupiter or Mars should lord 7th house. Watch your health. Definitely accidents can be a problem. There's always some new health issue coming up when you have Mars, Jupiter, 6th house. Just little things sometimes easily dealt with, but holding you back. Learn to have patience. It's really important. Serving others can get you the most tremendous feeling of happiness. Putting energy for others' benefit when you have Mars, Jupiter, 6th house is what's going to get you out of so many difficult situations. You may have quite a lot of competition in your life, enemies as it were, situations where you have to fight for your rights, but you will definitely do that, and often successfully if it is well placed by sign. Medicine, healing arts attract you. They can be excellent for you, and legal affairs also. Both Mars and Jupiter are happy in the 11th house, where they can give you gain, wealth, prosperity, continually finding new sources of income, multiple sources of income very often. Elder siblings are very important to you, maybe brothers especially. Sometimes they're a whole source of inspiration and help to you, but with affliction aspects, there can be some definite difficulties. But nonetheless, you are a seeker of opportunity. You're never sitting still. You're always looking for the next opportunity. It's very good for teamwork in your workplace, but also for leadership. It's generally a very prosperous and forward-looking factor. Mars, Jupiter in the 11th house. Well-placed Mars and Jupiter in either 5th or the 9th house, education, higher education is excellent. You are a very enthusiastic learner and you get so much out of your formal education. Mars, Jupiter, 5th, 9th house makes you expert in writing, media, communication, but perhaps writing for children sometimes because Jupiter is children. You're a great teacher, inspirer of younger people in either of these houses. Traditionally, Mars, Jupiter, 5th house can show sons coming into your life, but there's so much else which you have to see. Generally, though, you love to interact with children and your creative potential, Mars, Jupiter, 5th house, is tremendous. 9th house, you are inspired by foreign cultures, religions, and connection to your father is especially important. Father can be huge inspiration to you when you have Jupiter, Mars, 9th house. Affliction to this Mars, Jupiter though, and there can be misunderstandings, difficulty keeping in touch even with your father. Now in the Dusthana houses, 8th and 12th, this is where the Guru Mangal Yoga is not so obvious. It's a more internalized affair than an extrovert factor. On the positive side, in the 8th house, you can do very well in all business partnerships. You can be great dealing with finance. You may get inheritance, legacy sometimes, but you need to look for benefic aspect and strong sign. Generally though, Mars, Jupiter here can give difficulty with your in-laws, difficulty dealing with spousal finance, but generally, again, placement by sign, and it's not all so bad. You could actually come out of business downturn and just start again from scratch. Because the 8th house shows the unexpected karmas coming to us, Mars Jupiter here can show accidents coming into your life, but because of Jupiter's presence, you can overcome them, you can heal from them. In both the 8th and the 12th house, Mars Jupiter give you talent for astrology, because Mars is Karaka for astrology. Great talent and enthusiasm for hidden study, occult study, even research. A Mars Jupiter 12th house definitely gives you itchy feet to travel into foreign lands, foreign cultures, foreign spirituality attracts you, and you can spend a lot of time actually in foreign lands with this Mars Jupiter. Even wealth can be there, but there is also many ups and downs because Mars disturbs these foreign land journeys. You can have inspirational dreams, definitely Mars, Jupiter, and you may have many sleepless nights as well. So when you do sleep well, listen to your dreams. And Mars, Jupiter in these two Dustana houses, it's about trusting your own self, trusting that you can inspire yourself. It's an inner factor rather than coming from outside. You need to learn to meditate, be quiet, have peace in your mind, and then all of your fears, difficulties and phobias will disappear because Mars Jupiter simply multiplies unconscious fears while he's in the 8th and the 12th house. Check out the deeper understandings of both Mars and Jupiter in the signs up on your screen right now. And if you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below. Goodbye for now and God bless everyone.